Hey, and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's film Nimona. It wasn't Netflix's film until a little while ago. In fact, we didn't know if we were ever going to see this film. This film looked like it might not see the light of day, but thanks to Netflix buying it with Annapurna kind of helping it grow and become the full feature that it is now, I'm very excited to talk about this film. So, here's the synopsis. When a knight in a futuristic medieval world is framed for a crime he didn't commit, the only one who can help him prove his innocence is Nimona, a mischievous teen who happens to be a shapeshifting creature he's sworn to destroy. So we have Chloe Grace Moretz as Nimona and Riz Ahmed as Ballister Boldheart. And the first thing you're going to notice is the collaboration world here. We have this medieval versus technology, almost cyberpunk in places that kind of doesn't clash, but mixes together really well. It's a very realized world. And then we have the animation style that kind of really harks back to some of the similar styles we've been seeing coming from Netflix. Not quite like those, but you've seen similar animation series that have really been top notch. And then we have a bit of their own style and flair with the grading, the style of the shading, the way it looks, the character designs, the very specific look of the human nature. And then we have Nimona change into a number of creatures. So all of that playing in hand makes it for a very vibrant lived-in world. And then we get to the lore of this city that is surrounded by the rest of the world and a hub for humans to protect themselves against the outside world. And there's a big wall. We've seen similar stories like that before. Protect them basically from the monsters. This story has a number of themes going in on it, and I think it has a lot more heart than I was expecting it to have. It took me by surprise. Now, if you go into this film and you're one of those people that don't like seeing a couple represented, if it's not male and female, you get upset. If it's male and male or female and female, and you get upset with that, then this is going to upset you. This won't be the film for you, because there is a love story here that's male and male, and I didn't even want to mention it, but I just know there's going to be so many comments of the people are going to be like, this is so woke. That's not the thing. The relationships in here feel very real and have a tangible feeling to them. It's just love and it's just relationships. I really liked how they did that. It doesn't feel in your face or preachy. It just feels like it's part of the story. Love is told through many different facets, and this is one of them. And then we have the story of, I guess, finding your place in the world. It's a huge theme in this. We have Nimona, who has never found her place because she is so different. And then we have our knight, who isn't from royalty, and there's never been a knight that hasn't come from royalty, and he is the kind of the first of his kind, and so he's trying to find his place in this world. It has a wonderful rebellious tone in this film. The rebellious nature of it is a quirky eccentricity nature of Nimona specifically, but when in combination with the two, between the knight and Nimona, they bounce off each other and work off each other in dialogue that is silly, intelligent and witty, just really fun to listen to, and then catch up with what they're saying and then realize that was a joke, and then you're laughing a bit later, and then it comes quick and frenetic. And I think this plays a lot to some of my favorite animated films I've seen of recent, like Mitchell's vs. the Machines.
See, this is good right here. This is natural.
It's been at a few cinemas and it has had its time at some festivals, but this is the first time the large majority of the population of the world are going to be able to see it, because Netflix streamed to 220 countries, I think. I really hope a lot of people give this time, because between the voice work of the characters coming alive, Chloe Grace Moretz does a wonderful job at showing that rebellious nature and tone, but also the brokenness of the character. She does a fantastic job at portraying that. And with the combination of Riz Ahmed's voice work, with him unsure about his life, the partnership that he wants to have, and the wanting to be a knight, but is he actually worthy? All of that plays into the story wonderfully. Then we have the score, which is so adventurous. It makes you get into the zone and the tone. It makes you want to be on their side as they're running away from the guys that are trying to catch them. Heightened in the right moments. The tempo heightens in those moments that really makes you want to sit forward on your seat going, yeah, I'm just so there, because that is just complementing the story and the adventure that's going on. My one, and it's a weak negative, really, was because of Nimona's ability to change into multiple things, and it seems like she can change into whatever she wants, really. I was really hoping we were going to get some more fantasy creatures, because mostly she changes into creatures like a rhinoceros or a whale. If you've seen the trailer, you'll see it's animal related, and there's a couple of moments where it's not. But I think they could have had some real fun had they gone for really off-the-wall characters, because it's animation and it's in the fantasy, you know, the fact that she's a shapeshifter. I think they could have gone for that a little bit more. That was just my expectation, and I kept on thinking, I wonder what else she's going to change into. I wonder what else she's going to change into. I don't know if that would have detracted from the story, but that was like a slight little niggle, and that's just my own personal preference. But what we do get of the animation, when there is action sequences and a changing and the frenetic nature of the tempo of them, either in an action sequence running away from something or running towards something or trying to come to terms with a story that I don't want to give away, but let's just say there's a mystery that they have to discover, and there's a time limit to it. That's always great when something's going to happen and it means a bunch of people dying, but it means your villains, who are not your villains, are going to have to be the ones to save the day. That is always a great journey adventure to go on with your characters, and the way that is shown here, because of the way the characters interact with each other, you're immediately on board. And then combined with the heart of the story between the relationships and the brokenness of the characters, I think it's great. It also reminded me a little bit of the quirkiness of Emperor's New Groove, and there's even a character that the knight reminds me a little bit of Gronk. There's little touches that you'll notice that make it even better. You know, adding a notch in the quiver that is already a full quiver of awesomeness. I don't know why I used that analogy, but let's just say we're adding another notch on the arrow and we're about to shoot it, and say, what little extra touches that's going to really hit the bullseye? And you'll notice little moments that they didn't need to put in. There's movements or creatures or characters that are doing something in the background, or someone will say a line of dialogue that they went the extra mile with. And that's what I feel like. This is a real personal project between our two directors, Nick Bruno and Troy Quane. You can just feel like it's absolutely a love project that's been worked on for ages. I'm going to give this 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's up there with Mitchell's versus Machines for me and The Emperor's New Groove. I definitely will watch it a number of times, and I can't wait to watch this with my family. I think everybody's going to love this and relate to it in some way. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. What so far has been your best Netflix animated movie or TV series? I know which TV series is my favorite from them, because it's just phenomenal. But I'll be interested to hear what you think is your favorite movie. This week is a crazy week for awesome content. We've got The Witcher Season 3, Jack Ryan, the final season, which is Season 4. We also have Idris Elba's new series and a limited series, Hijack. That's all going to be on our channel, either right now when you're watching this or over the next 24 hours, in amongst other stuff that's coming out, as long as our podcast and Patreon. So have a look on the channel for anything that you might be interested in watching. I hope you find these entertaining and informative. Like and subscribe and all that nonsense if you haven't yet. But thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your eyeballs here and at least listening to some of what I have to say. Whether you agree with me or not, I just appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.